Good morning to everybody. Good afternoon. We will start the webinar now. Today we are talking about using the BCH AJAX plugin to develop biosafety aware websites. For those of you that do not know me, I'm Ernesto Ocampo. I have been a regional specialist for the BCH since 2005, working for UNEP GF capacity building projects. I have also helped in the informal advisory committee for the BCH since 2006 and have organized several BCH workshops and seminars at the national, regional and global levels. My main background is as a software engineer and I hold a computer science PhD. I would like to introduce you also today to Mr. Philippe Leblanc, that is the creator of the BCH, the officer in charge of the development of the BCH and also of this AJAX plugin that we're talking about today. Philippe, could you please address the floor?
Hi everybody, good morning. So as I said, I'm the person behind the IT aspect of the BCH since mostly the beginning in 2001. So if you have any question, I will be there, and also we'll be there to receive any comment or suggestions on improvements. Thank you.
Thank you, Philippe. Before starting with the subject, let's review what you have in your screens for this webinar. For this webinar, GoToWebinar tool. In your screen on the left side, you will see a pane. That is where I will project my screen. And on the right-hand side, you see the control panel, your GoToWebinar control panel. Let's bear in mind that this control panel will collapse after a few minutes, and for avoiding that, what we can do is just to open the view menu and then uncheck the option that says how to hide the control panel. To the left of your control panel, you will see a small quick bar with several icons. The first one is a small white arrow over a orange background. With that arrow, you can collapse or expand your control panel to clear the screen. Then you have a very important icon, that is the hand. This is a signal like raising your hand in a classroom. When you press this button, I can see that you are raising your hand in my control panel, and I can give you the floor to address the audience, to make any questions. We already have selected the audio mode for using microphone and speakers, and you have a pane for writing your questions. I suggest that you write down your questions so I can have a list here in my screen, and I can go on addressing the questions one by one. And I will also suggest that you use the microphone when you need to talk to the panelists or to the rest of the audience. These webinars are being recorded for later playback as part of our BCH education materials. When you are participating in this webinar, you understand that this is being recorded. The participants' opinions and concepts expressed during this webinar do not reflect the UNEP official position about any aspect, and in any case, the official word about any aspect related to the Cartagena Protocol should be requested from the only UN official organization, the Secretary to the Convention of Biological Diversity. In your screens, when the webinar is being recorded, you will see in the bottom of your control panel a small red light that indicates that the session is being recorded. Also, there is a message there warning you about the recording and to mute yourself or do not share your screens if you don't want to be recorded. Okay, what are we going to see today? First, we will just introduce very briefly what is the BCH2 capacity building project, that is the unit project that allows us to do these training activities. And then we go straight to talk about the BCH AJAX plugin, where can we find detailed users guidelines and examples about it. And then we will go to analyze several different practical exercises about how can we use this plugin to display different kinds of biosafety information that is already registered in the Biosafety Clearinghouse in any different websites that we wish. And finally, we have a session on questions and answers to address all your issues or doubts about how to use the AJAX plugin. Regarding the BCH capacity building project, the objective of this second BCH capacity building project is to continue assisting eligible countries in strengthening national capacities to effectively access and use the BCH, promote regional and sub-regional collaboration, networking and exchange of experience for national and regional BCH management. This project has several components, but we will focus just on the second one, that is about continued in-depth fine-tuning and development of knowledge-sharing training packages on the BCH in 5 UN languages. Since the year 2005, the BCH capacity building projects have been developing a broad collection of BCH education materials. In this second phase, we have a primary objective to improve these materials and mostly to make them available to the widest possible global audience. These webinars are part of this component and a very important part. All of our BCH education materials are available nowadays in our virtual learning environment. This can be found at http://moodle.bch.cbd.int. Let's go to take a brief look of how it looks. Most of you already know this platform. So when you go to this virtual learning environment, you can see several banners in the middle of the main page for the main global public courses in English, Spanish, French, Arabic and Russian. You don't need to be a registered user to access this information, but you do need it to be able to participate in the forums and to receive the news. On the right hand side you will see there is a banner about the AJAX demo. We will come back later to this place, and there is links to our English webinars page. We can take a look on them, where we put all of our webinars information, registering instructions, and all the past webinars, presentations and recordings also. You see all these pages shows all of our webinar pages, and you can see the past webinar recordings in the section that says past webinars, with the videos and the presentations. Okay. So our virtual learning environment is at http://moodle.bca.cbd.int. If you don't have a registered user, please just send an email to this email address stating your first name, your last name and your country, and you will be able to access all the contents immediately. We just saw that from the main virtual learning environment page we have several public courses. Today we are going to take some resources from the English training course. We will come back to this place later. So what is the AJAX plugin? This AJAX thing is just a small computer program code that can be inserted into any website and configured to automatically download and display different BCH available types of information. It's just we will see it in a minute. It is very important to understand that it's extremely easy to use and set up by anybody that is building any kind of websites. What are the requirements and the maintenance cost of AJAX, of using AJAX? First of all, it has no cost at all. It doesn't require any local infrastructure. It is completely supported by the Secretariat, and all the files that are related to it are located at the BCH Central Portal. And it works in all the platforms and does not require any software installation. You just need to insert a couple of lines that we will see shortly in your web pages, and the users, your customers, your users, the people that is going to see your web pages or your websites, just that will use Internet Explorer or Mozilla or Google Chrome, whatever internet browser they are using. The plugin also supports local languages, as we will see later. And then, why could it be interesting for us? Let's see some facts. Nowadays, biosafety public awareness is becoming more and more important. Every single day, more and more people is interested in these issues. Another very important fact is that the Biosafety Clearinghouse is a global and really complete information repository, first of all, and impartial. Every single day, the Biosafety Clearinghouse is growing, and today is really huge with a very, very important information contained in it. Different civil society sectors like industry, academia, NGOs, researchers, and also the general public are demanding more biosafety information access every day. Let's see some possible scenarios for us. We may belong to some government institution. For example, we may be some regulators in a Ministry of Agriculture or Ministry of Environment or Ministry of Health or whatever seed regulator in the government. And we need to publish, or we wish to publish and show on our websites some information that we may find already in the BCH. Or we can be a private worker in the industry, or can be participating in some agricultural associations or seed associations, and we would like to display up-to-date information about LMOs, risk assessments in our institutional enterprise websites. We're not our main issues are not to build biosafety portals, but we may want to show in our existing portal some of this information without much burden. We can be academics or researchers and would like to show automatically in our web page some information about genes or organisms or DNA sequences, technical information. Or we could be interested in downloading and showing some research papers that are contained in the Biosafety Information Resource Center. Or we could be interested in showing and accessing the details of biosafety related organizations all around the world or from a specific country or region. In the same way, we could be interested in listing the existing or the BCA registered laboratories for identification and detection of LMO. There could be many other interests and situations depending on our activity. So, how can we do this? How can we use the BCH for this? How can we get benefit of all the BCH available information? And how can we display it in our websites without having to spend uncountable editing hours? You know, loading contents in any websites, it used to be a very time-consuming activity, and it would be very interesting if we could show some of this information without doing anything at all. And how can we ensure that our website always displays the most accurate and up-to-date information? Because with static contents, one of the main problems is that the information becomes obsolete, and we have to take care of it continuously. So it would be good if we could display some of this information in an automatic way, and it would be updated automatically without our intervention. And finally, it may be important for us to do all of this without any cost. And we do have an answer for that, and the answer is to use the BCH AJAX plugin. Okay, going to the training resources about AJAX plugin, where can we find detailed information about the AJAX plugin? First, we have the BCH global courses in the virtual learning environment. Let's take a look. Where do we find it? If we go to our virtual learning environment, we can select the English course or whatever your language preference is, and in this course we can see all the existing BCH education materials. And if you go to one of the last sections, is section 11, you'll see there is a section about AJAX BCH development tool, and there you see there is a link for the user manual, AJAX user manual, that has complete details about how to use it, insert it, configure it. And also you will see there is a link to the demo application that we will be seeing in a minute. We will upload some code examples also, like the same ones as we will be practicing today. Also, the same things, you can find them from the BCH main site. On the, let's go to the BCH. You can go to the BCH and go to the help system. If you go to BCH and click on the help page, you will see on the training materials booklet, at the bottom you'll see the AJAX BCH development tool section, and there you'll see again the AJAX user manual and a link to the demonstration application. The AJAX demonstration application can be reached then from the virtual learning environment and also from the BCH help system. This is the final URL for it. It is just a very simple web page that has been built just to illustrate how to configure the AJAX plugin interactively. We can see it at here is the AJAX demo application. You see it's a very simple one. You have two links on the left side for national records and reference records, and then you when selecting national reference you have three lists, one for the record type, one for the country, and one for the language. So let's see a first example then of using AJAX. Let's suppose that we want to show in one web page, any web page, all of, for example, Cambodia national focal points. We would just need to insert this kind of code fragment into the HTML file, any any website developer can do this very, very easily. And the important thing here is just the last line. That is the one that says generate records, and you see it says focal point, KH, and EN. So for example, let's go to the AJAX demo application to see how it would look in the AJAX demo application. For example, we can select national records, and here you can select national focal point. Let's select Cambodia, and the language we can leave it in English. And when we press the go button, we see here a text box with a code fragment that is generated, and below that we see the results. These results are the ones that have been retrieved by this AJAX plugin with these parameters. We ask for focal point, for Cambodia, which country code is KH, and in English, and the language code is EN. So now let's go a bit deeply into the plugin. As I said before, the main or the important sentence here in the plugin is this generate records one, and it takes 3 parameters. You can specify the document type. We saw recently we asked for national focal points. We can specify the country, Cambodia in our first example, and we can specify the language. In this case it was English. How do we do that? Document type is the first parameter, and we can specify any kind of record that is available in the BCH. At this point we would like to mention that you may remember that there are 2 kinds of records in the BCH. There are national records that are the ones that just the parties and the countries can officially register in the BCH, and for that they need to do that through their BCH national focal point, that is an authority appointed by the government. So there are several types of national records, like competent authorities, decisions under Article 7 or Article 11 of the Cartagena Protocol, biosafety experts, risk assessments, to mention some of them. Let's see some examples of using AJAX to retrieve national records. Let's go to our demo application, and for example, if you wanted to get all the European Union decisions under CPB Article 7, for example, we want to search and display in our website all the decisions that have been taken in the European Union for delivering LMOs to the environment. So we can go to decision on LMO here in the AJAX plugin demo. It's specified European Union here, and then press go. So you see that the generated script says generate records decisions under AIA, EUR, and EN. These are the parameters. It may take a while now because of our bandwidth. So what is the code that is behind this? It's just this little script. I will show you now how it looks in a very simple HTML page. The same thing that we see in the demo application. Here, this just several lines are the ones that we write just to retrieve all the records about decisions under Article 7 from the European Union. So you can see this is the generate records code and the parameters it takes. If you run this is saved as an HTML file. If you are going to open this on a web browser, one. Let's see. We can open all decisions from let's open it in Google Chrome. Sorry, this is okay. The title is not correct. I didn't update the title. So you see here how our AJAX plugin retrieves all the European Union decisions, and you see on the right hand side, this is the standard display of the BCH, if you remember. On the right hand side, for each decision, you will see the different icons that indicate what is the subject of the decision or the law. Sorry. And then you can also go to the specific record where you have all the details about it. Let's see some other examples. For example, we would like to retrieve all the BCH decisions from India, and that could be easily done. Let's see on our decisions from India. We can open this all decisions from India. We see the script isn't just the same, just we change the parameters. We specify decisions under AIA and under Article 11. You see here we are using two types of records in the same call. In India is the country and English the language. And if you run it, okay, we'll see all India decisions. And once we have this here, we can also check all the records one by one. There are some the same icons as you see in the BCH on the right hand side, and we can inspect the record, the specific decision. For example, let's go to this one, and here we have all the details about this decision, all of the details about the national competent authority that is involved in this decision, and what is the subject of the decision, etc. We could see another kind of example. For example, what about retrieving India and Pakistan competent national authorities? How could we do that? We could just in our call to generate records, specify authority. Authority is the code for competent national authorities, and then we can specify two countries separated by comma. These are the country code for India and Pakistan. And so we can run it on our browser. Example is this one. So we have both competent national authorities. There is just one national competent authority for India and one for Pakistan, and we can also see all the details inside. And we could be trying to retrieve also maybe more competent authorities. For example, if you wanted to search for all the competent authorities from the European Union, we will get a lot of records because the amount of countries there. And you see the same kind of call. Well, we have 4 records here, but we could also search within these results. And you see, when we retrieve these records, we can most of the time do this kind of search within results, and it is specific for each kind of record that you retrieve. In this case, we can select the type of national contact and their functions. For example, we could specify here that we just want to filter for this competent authority for handling, transport, packaging, and identification, and we press on search, And okay, there's just one competent national authority that has been declared or classified into the BCH for handling and packaging. For example, other example could be to see or to analyze the laws from all the EU. The same thing. And we see on the right hand side also the icons that represent what is the law about. Finally, we could be interested in showing, for example, different risk assessments that have been registered into the BCH, and this could be done very easily. Also, let's see risk assessments or risk assessments in English. We can see it in. You see, this is the code for getting the risk assessments for all countries in English, and here's how it looks. So with this simple call, we get all the risk assessment documents that have been registered in the BCH, and here we have the list, and also we have the corresponding icons. We can search within results here. Sorry, just a second. We can search within results within the total list of risk assessments, and we have several criteria for restricting these results. For example, we could specify a different kind of decision or declaration. We will skip to risk assessment, but we can specify, for example, by unique identifier. We could search for a specific unique identifier, and then we have another edit box here. Let's, for example, search for the risk assessments registered about MON 89. Let's see. 99, 90, for example, for this LMO, and we press search, and we will have just the list of risk assessments that have been registered for this specific LMO. There are 10 of them: Canada, Germany, Japan, Honduras. So this is just without line of code. We can do that on our website. Okay, back to the presentation now. Other type of records are document types that we can display in our websites are what we call the reference records. Remember, national records and reference records. These records are not from a specific country, and some kind of them are the BCH News. We can retrieve publications from the Biosafety Information Resource Center. We can search and display elements in the organism, gene and DNA or LMO registries. We have also organizations involved in biosafety activities, and also the list of laboratories for detection and identification of LMOs. Let's see, for example, maybe we are an academic or researcher, and we want to search the BCH for organism or DNA sequences. Let's see how it looks. We could, for example, the organism, and we get a list of organisms. Here we can also have the possibility of restricting these results. We can click on search within results, and for example, we could filter per type of organism. In this case, I will try to do it by a common name, and for recipient common name, recipient organism, and maybe cotton. Maybe cotton here. So we have filtered by common name, recipient common name, recipient organism, cotton, and so we'll have all the entries in the BCH with this restriction. Yes, we can take some seconds. Okay, there we have two records found in the BCH about this organism. We also could be interested in listing and seeing the details about different laboratories that are installed for detection and LMO identification. We could do that also from our, let's try it on the AJAX demo. This is a reference record. So we ask for laboratories, any countries. We'll see that for some of the reference records we cannot specify a country because these are not linked to a specific country. We can press and go. So we see here what's the script, LMO detection laboratory, asterisk and English, and we get 37 records about laboratories in the BCH. We could also be interested in retrieving papers, retrieving publications from the Biosafety Information Resource Center and putting them automatically in our website and our academic website, a course website, whatever. There is no limitation with this. So, for example, we could be interested in going to the Biosafety Information Resource Center and retrieving the records. And here also you see there are like more than 1,400 records here. We could also search within results to narrow our search. For example, if we wanted to search by thematic area, and here, for example, we could select human health. Let's leave the other as they are, as all, and let's see what do we find here about in the BIRC about human health. Okay, there are about more than 300 records, so we could narrow this search a bit more. Okay, what now? For some types of reference records we cannot specify a country, so we shall put there an asterisk, and these are the ones for the BIRC or Biosafety organizations and so on. Regarding the other two parameters that are used in the generate records call, the second parameter is the country, and for that we use the two-letter ISO 3166 country code. This is a standard ISO code. You can see all the codes at the time of publication in the annex number 1 of the manual, but also you can see it directly at this address. This is the ISO. At this address you can see all the country codes. And the third parameter is the language. The language is managed the same way as in the BCH Management Center, and it's compliant with this standard ISO 639/2. We can see at this address also all the languages codes. Remember that this is the same as it is used in the BCH. If you go to the BCH and you are registering a new record, for example, let's register just a very standard record, a competent authority. You will see that when starting to register a new record, you have the possibility of specifying the languages here, the sub button that says specify language. As you can remember, we need to use at least one of the UN official languages, so we have to select one or more of the UN official languages: English, Arabic, Russian, Chinese, French, or Spanish. But we can also add other languages. We can select additional languages, and this list is populated the same way with the same parameters that you can use in AJAX. So, for example, if I select Belarusian, or even I select another one, I can Afrikaans, and save selection, we have now 3 languages, and in any record, when you are registering the record, you will see then that there will be 3 fields for each language that you have selected. These language codes are the same that you can use in AJAX. So if a record has been registered in English, in Afrikaans, and in Belarusian, you will be able to retrieve it in each one of those languages, specifying that language. Okay. We can use some wildcards and combining parameters. We have been seeing that through all the examples. Or the wildcards can be the asterisk or all, and can be used in the document type and country parameters, but not both at the same time. We can also specify more than one value in the parameters separated by comma. Some examples of these wildcards are, for example, the Generate Records Authority for India and Pakistan, or risk assessment for all countries, or all records from India. Okay, going to do a little recap now. We have seen during this webinar what is the AJAX plugin. We have seen that it's a very small piece of code that we can insert in any website that we want to use to display biosafety information that is already available in the BCH. We have seen where to find detailed information about this plugin. We can find the manual and the link to the demo application in the virtual learning environment, and also straight from the help system in the BCH Central portal. And we have seen several examples about how to use it to display registering BCH information in any website. I will put these code examples also in a zip file in the virtual learning environment in the AJAX section also. About related costs and requirements, we have seen that there are no specific requirements. Any web browser will do. We have just to insert these little lines in our pages, and there is no cost, there is no maintenance associated with that. Okay, so I have reached the end of this webinar. Now we are open for questions from you. Please just raise your hand or write your question in the question pane, and I will be very glad to answer. And also Philippe is here, that is the main developer of all of this, to answer your questions about AJAX. If you have any question, please raise your hand. Okay, I see no questions from the audience. So I think okay. Just a second, I have a question here. I have a question from Emma here. It says, how frequently is the AJAX information updated? And is it possible to install it in more than one page? Emma, I will give you the floor. You can address that. Emma, you have the floor.
Thank you, Ernesto. How frequently is the AJAX information updated?
It is just a real-time thing. Once you open your web page, it will retrieve the records at that instant. If you refresh the web page, it will retrieve the records again. So
Okay.
there's no possibility of getting obsolete. You see, the information that you see in these pages, as I have been showing you in the last examples, is being downloaded on a real-time basis. When you click on the web page and you refresh the web page, it goes to the BCH and retrieves all the records again, all the records that you have specified.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ernesto.
You had another question about. I see it. Yeah, tell me.
Is it possible to install it in more than one single web page?
Oh yeah, definitely. You can. This is so simple. You can use it as many times as you want. This is the nice part of it. You have no limitation. For example, let me show you. You see here. Can you see my screen? Can you see?
Yes.
Okay, all of these tabs. This one and not this one, this one and this one and this one and this one. All of these tabs are different web pages, and all of them have are web pages that are using AJAX. There are like plenty of them there. There is no limitation.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Ernesto.
You're welcome, Emma. Thank you very much for your questions. Is there any other question? Okay, then if there are no more questions, I will give the floor to Philippe again. Philippe, could you please address the audience?
Thank you, Ernesto. So thank you for this very nice presentation. If any of you find anything, have any questions as you use the plugin, please never hesitate to contact us. And in addition, if there's any type of information you may see on the BCH that is not available through the plugin, just tell us, and we will make sure that we further develop and improve the plugin so that that type of information can be also added to national websites. So thank you, and have a good day. Bye.
Thank you very much, Philippe. Okay, we are finishing now then. Thank you very much for attending. All the presentation and the recording for this webinar will be available soon in our English webinars website. Thank you very much. Good afternoon or good morning for everybody.